Hi guys, a massive welcome again to my channel. My name is Becca. So for this week's class, I'm going to do a 30-minute practice for balancing out our root chakra. So for those of you that don't know, chakras are basically these energy wheels inside our bodies. They go from the base of our spine all the way to the crown of the head. And there are 7 of them. So I'm going to do one video for each chakra, and this week I'm focusing on the root chakra. So the root chakra is basically to do with our grounding. It's found right at the base of the spine. It's our first chakra. This one is, I feel, the one I connect the most to while practicing yoga, because it's all about getting out of your own head and down into your body, connecting back with the earth, connecting back with nature. You'll also feel yourself connecting with this chakra when you're out for a walk, in nature, just when you're doing anything that brings you some focus and grounding. So this is often activated during mindfulness as well. So it's really good if you're suffering from anxiety or any other kind of mental health issue. Balancing the root chakra can really help you get out of your head and back into your body, back into your present moment. So let's get started. To start today's root chakra balancing yoga class, we're just finding a nice comfortable seat, as we normally do, for some meditation before we begin. So start to close your eyes and rest your hands somewhere comfortable in the body. These can be on your knees or bring your hands out in front of the body. To start off, we're coming into this lovely meditation for our root chakra. So I want you to picture just this wheel of energy right down at the base of your spine. And the colour of this wheel of energy is red. And just picture that wheel right down the bottom of your spine. And just picture it turning. And picture that colour of red really vibrant coming out from this wheel. Just keep focused on that area where the root chakra is in the body. And while you're seated, feel every part of your body that's connecting with the ground, connecting with the earth. So this will be your sit bones seated on your mat. Your knees will be touching the ground, they might be. Your hands rested on your knees, feel that connection between your hands and your knees. And really focus on that feeling of grounding. So picture your energy moving downwards towards your root chakra, and just really establish that connection with the ground here and with the earth beneath the ground, really connecting to nature. We're not just going to be doing this in our meditation, but we'll do this throughout our practice today too. So for the next half an hour, we're really focusing on grounding in all of the poses that we practice today. You'll probably be sick of the word grounding by the time this is over. As usual in the meditation, just start to calm down your breath, all the while not losing focus of that red energy wheel. Focus your mind. We'll just spend a few more moments here in this quiet seat, noticing what you feel as this chakra starts to open. And we'll do 3 rounds of the full yoga breath to finish off our seated meditation. So on your inhale, start to breathe in, bringing the air through the tummy, through the chest, lift into our collarbones. Exhale, empty your chest, empty your tummy, let go of your breath. Inhale, filling up the tummy, filling up the chest, lift into your collarbones. Exhale, empty the chest, empty the tummy, let the breath go. One more time, inhale. Lovely deep breath in, filling up the tummy and the chest, lifting into the collarbones. Exhale, let it go. So we're always keeping the breath through the nose in our yoga practice. And then open your eyes, let your breath settle back to its more natural rhythm. And from here, we're just going to take one spinal twist to each side. So bring your left hand over to your right knee, bring your right hand out behind you, peek out over your right shoulder for a spinal twist. And again, imagine the energy going down through the spine, down to your root chakra, and feel yourself nice and grounded into your mat here or your block. Inhale, turn and forward. Exhale, right hand to left knee, left hand out behind. And again, feeling that twist in your spine, making sure it's comfortable, and feeling that energy grounding you down to your mat. Inhale, we're going to come forward. If you're sitting on a block or some support, just remove that. And we're coming forward onto our hands and knees here. So here, lining your shoulders up with your wrists, your hips above your knees. And again, we are looking for that sense of grounding. So your hands are pressed into your mat. Fingertips are spread wide. Your knees and feet are on the mat, the lower half of your legs. And again, just taking a moment here to picture every part of your body that's connecting with the ground, with your mat. Use that feeling. Not losing sense of that red ball of energy in our base of the spine. So we'll take some cat-cow movements from here, all the while not losing that sense of grounding. So exhale, drop your head, lift your shoulders, find cat pose. Inhale, drop your tummy, arch your back, find your cow. Exhale, drop your head, lift your shoulders to find cat. And inhale, drop your tummy, arch your back and find cow. One more of each. Exhale, lift your shoulders, drop your head, find cat. Inhale. Drop your tummy, arch your back to find cow. Lovely, and just bring the spine back to a neutral position. And we're going to take some little tiger balance movements here. So, on our next inhale, take the right leg back out behind you, just in a straight line. On our next inhale, left arm reaches forward. So we're balancing on our right hand and our left knee. And again, grounding. Exhale, we're going to bring the elbow and the knee in towards each other. They don't need to touch. If they do, then great. If they don't, we're just bringing them in as if they were gonna. Inhale, straighten out. Half balance in table pose. Exhale, elbow to knee again, drop your head. So spine's making some very similar movements to cat-cow here. Keeping yourself firmly grounded to your mat. Inhale once more, right side, reaching forward. Exhale, elbow to knee, drop your head. Exhale, realign yourself back to your hands and knees as we get ready for that on our opposite side. So inhale, take your left leg back, straight back behind you. Right arm is coming forward and we're balancing there. Exhale, bringing the elbow and the knee in towards each other. Again, they don't need to touch. Inhale, reaching out. This is really good for strengthening these sets of moves. Exhale, elbow to knee. And just once more of each. Inhale, straighten out. Half balance in table. Exhale, elbow to knee, drop your head. And release, hands and knees, realigning yourself. And from here, We'll take the right leg up again. This time we'll bend the knee and bring the foot up behind us. Now, if you're a beginner in your practice, you might just stay here. If you're a little more intermediate or a little more advanced, then we'll take our left hand, reach it round and just see if you can grab onto your right foot. If you've got it, just lift the foot slightly, press in your foot into your hand. If you don't quite grab the foot, you can still just reach for it for the same twist in your spine here. Exhale, release back down to your hands and knees. And then inhale, left leg, bend the knee, lift the foot up behind you. And you might just stay here, or you might bring your right hand round, grab onto your left foot. Only lifting your leg if you can here. You might just stay with the hand grabbing the foot without lifting. But if you can lift, then go ahead and do so. Remember, keeping yourself grounded here, especially in these balances. Exhale, back to hands and knees. Head your hips back to your heels, lower into a child's pose. And just relax your head within your child's pose. Relax your shoulders, take a moment there. So whenever your mind starts to wander off during our practice today, just bring it back. That's also practicing grounding and balancing our root chakra as we're getting out of our heads, staying within our bodies. Inhale, come back up. Find your hands and knees. And from here, we're heading up into a downward facing dog. So get your hands nice and grounded first here. So palms pressing into your mat, fingertips spread. We're tucking the toes and the hips are coming up and back. Finding the downward facing dog. And again, that extra focus on your hands and feet firmly planted into your mat. Remembering your heels don't have to touch the mat as long as they're going in that direction. But your toes and the front balls of your feet are firmly planted. Your hands are pressed in and you're really feeling that foundation, that strong foundation of your downward facing dog. Really connecting with the ground here. Imagine yourself connecting with the earth, connecting with the soil that keeps us going. Start to walk your feet through in towards your hands. Exhale, find a quick standing forward bend here. Grabbing onto the backs of the legs if you wish, or your hands just reach down towards the ground. Take a few gentle breaths as we stretch the hamstrings a little in this pose. Grounding those feet into the mat. Release and inhale, start to slowly rise up to standing. Your spinal vertebra uncurling as we come up. Lift your head up last. And we're finding a strong standing mountain pose. So we're finding Tadasana. So our arms are coming down by our sides. We're gazing forward. Our feet are just slightly apart, but all four corners of your feet are pressed into your mat. And from here, we'll take some sun salutations, but we'll stop in the middle for some poses and focus on the grounding aspects of those poses, the aspects that help us get out of our heads and into our bodies. On your exhale, bringing your hands together at your heart. Inhale, lifting, taking our gentle back bend, looking up. Exhale, hips come back, we lower down, we find our standing forward fold, soft in the knees. Right leg is stepping back. Drop the knee, and we're going to spend a moment here. We're going to spend a little moment in a crescent lunge, as this is a very grounding posture. So just one hand at a time, bring it up to your knee and bring the body upright. Just see how that feels from there. And you might be okay from here to bring the arms up, reach them up towards the ceiling. And just hold there and breathe for a moment. So try and find that focus. Feel every single part of your body right now, especially those parts of your body that are touching the mat. So your front foot, your back leg from the knee onwards. And just feel that connection. I like to imagine roots coming from the parts of my body that are touching the mat. And just imagining those roots going down deep into the earth. And that's a really good way to help yourself become grounded. If the mind starts to wander, if you start to get too much into your head, imagine those roots. Visualization can be a very powerful tool. Exhale, hands down. And from here we'll step back into our plank. So stepping back, shoulders above wrists, nice and strong here. Exhale, knees, chest and shin. Inhale, press up into a cobra or a sphinx pose with the forearms down. And exhale, bend your knees, tuck your toes and press those hips up and back as we come back to our downward facing dog. So again, you can find some gentle movement here. Bend your knees. You can come up onto the tiptoes a few times, or you can even take some hip circles here, just to really help yourself move into your downward facing dog. Your weight's evenly spread between your arms and your legs, so you're not feeling too much in either. If you do find you're feeling it a little more in either the arms or the legs, have a go at walking the feet forward or back. See if that helps that weight evenly distribute. Find that perfect point in your downward facing dog. So coming back to our root chakra, our red wheel of energy in the base of the spine, not losing focus on that. Exhale, knees down, step the right foot through between the hands, back to our lunge. Exhale, left side through, standing forward bend. Inhale, lift up, take a back bend. Exhale, hands together at the heart. Lovely, we'll do a round on our left side. So on your inhale, lifting up. Taking a back bend, looking up. Exhale, send the hips back and come forward and down. Standing forward bend again. Left leg stepping back, dropping down, and again we're going to spend a moment here. So right knee is lined up with your right ankle, one hand at a time. We'll lift the torso. Get that little sinking feeling into your hips. And then arms are coming up. So shoulders are relaxed at the same time as we reach. And again, find a center here, find a focus. Feel every part of your body that's touching the mat in this pose. Just feel that connection. Visualize those roots going down into the earth. Take a few breaths. Always noticing how the postures feel in your body. Making sure they're comfortable. If not, you can come out, or you can maybe even lift yourself up slightly higher if you find your inner thigh stretch is a little bit much today. Exhale, hands down. And inhale, stepping back, finding a plank. Exhale, knees, chest and shin, lower down. And inhale, we head up for a cobra. And exhale, bend the knees, tuck the toes, hips are coming up and back. So downward facing dog. Once again, firmly planting your hands, planting your feet, or the balls of your feet. Heels going towards the ground. They don't need to get there, but that's always where they're going. Take some movements if you wish. Walk the dog, or anything that I mentioned earlier in our last downward facing dog. And just imagining your root chakra balancing out, opening up, and taking in that positive grounding energy. Exhale, drop the knees. Left foot stepping through between your hands, gaze forward for your lunge. Exhale, right side. Find your standing forward bend. Inhale, lifting up. Gentle back bend. Exhale, hands together at your heart. And from here we'll come down, take a rest in a child's pose. So sit back on your heels, arms down by your sides, and lower yourself down. Drop your head. And we're just resting there for a moment in child's pose. Feeling your shoulders melting over the knees, feeling your head pressed against your mat. If you need some support, if your head isn't quite reaching your mat, you can pop down a pillow, a yoga block, or a folded up blanket, anything at all that will support the head. We'll take a few more breaths here, and you can always come back to this at any point during your practice. Child's pose is our pose that we come into whenever we need a rest. Inhale, start to lift the head, rise up. Coming forward onto your hands and knees. And again, lining shoulders up with wrists, hips above the knees for a strong tabletop position. And from here, we'll head back into a downward facing dog. So again, tuck your toes, press your hips up and back. Find yourself back in downward facing dog. Take some movements if you wish. We're not staying here for too long. And then start to walk your feet forwards towards the hands. Find and stand in forward fold. And you can even take ragdoll here if you wish. Grab onto your elbows and just swing the upper body from side to side. Head is heavy, the upper body is hanging heavy here, but we're still firmly grounded with those feet. Drop your hands, and again we're slowly uncurling the spine as we head up to standing. Lifting your head up last. Give your shoulders some rolls back and forth here if you feel the need to. And then we're coming to stand wide. So finding a wide-legged stance here, toes are pointed forward, hands are on the hips. And from here, we're turning our right toes out, our left toes in, keeping the hips open and just making sure your feet are in line with each other here. Spreading the toes out, pressing the toes back on your mat to ground your feet. And then we're bending that right knee. So knee is just above your ankle here, or your heel, arms out to shoulder height for Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2 pose. So this is another great one for our grounding. So feet are firmly planted, your shoulders are in line with the hips, we're not reaching forward, we're not reaching back, we're just perfectly there in the middle, in line with the hips. Gazing out over your right fingertips here. And check your knee. If you can see your first two toes next to that knee, then it means your knee is roughly in the right place. So it should just be above your ankle or heel. And if you look and just see those first two toes, then it's roughly there. So it's a good way that I found out from another teacher to check that alignment in this pose. take reverse warrior here. So exhale, slide your back hand down your back leg and lift your left arm up to come into reverse warrior. So your chest is lovely and open. You don't have to come that far down into your back bend. You might only come to say here, just a very gentle one, or you might come down a little further. Always listening to your body, remember, never pushing anything. Again, bringing focus to that root chakra, grounding yourself into your mat. Inhale, come up, arms out. Exhale, right elbow to right knee, lift your left arm up for side angle pose. You can look up at your top hand here if it's comfortable. And also you can bring your arm up and overhead. So finding that posture, side angle. Inhale, come back up to Virabhadrasana 2. Hands on the hips, turn forward. Toes are pointed out here. We'll come into a quick goddess pose between sides. So again, this is a really strong grounding posture. So exhale, we're bending the knees. The knees are pointing in the same direction as the toes here. We're squatting down as if we're sitting on a little invisible stool behind us. Arms out, palms wide, elbows bent. So nice, strong goddess. Hold that there. Legs are working hard this session, I know. If you need to take child's pose at any point, then please do. Inhale, straighten the legs, hands on the hips. We'll come to our warrior 2 on the opposite side. So left toes are turning out, right toes are turning in, bending the left knee. So again, check your knee. If you can see those first 2 toes, you've roughly got that position. Arms out at shoulder height, gazing out over your left fingers. Shoulders in line with your hips. So breathe in and finding that strong pose, both feet firmly planted. Your legs are switched on here. They shouldn't be passive, they should be switched on. Keeping that breath steady, keeping that mind focused. Remember, grounding, root chakra, connections to the earth. Exhale, reverse warrior. Back hand down, back leg, lift up. Gentle back bend, look up. Breathe in there. Inhale, arms back up for warrior 2. Exhale, come into side angle, left elbow to left knee, right arm reaches up. And if you're comfortable to do so, you can bring that right arm up and overhead alongside the ear, looking up if your neck feels comfortable to do so. Inhale, lift. Back to our Virabhadrasana 2. Straighten your leg, hands on the hips. We'll turn back forward again. This time your toes point to the side of your mat. Hands are on the hips. We'll take an inhale here. And an exhale, folding forward. So fold forward from the hips, stop halfway and ground your feet firmly. Soften those knees so they're not locked. And then we'll come all the way down, gaze out between your legs. If you can reach your hands to the floor here, then pop your hands down on your mat and press your hands in as if you're trying to slide the mat away for a good way to get a little deeper into your pose. You might need a block here or some form of support to reach your hands down to. That is absolutely fine. If you don't have any form of support, you can grab onto your legs instead. If you wish, bring your elbows out. And then bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, rise up. We can step or hop the feet back together here. And then we'll come down to the mat and lie on our backs with the knees bent. hug your knees into your chest here and gently rock from side to side. Make small circles with your knees. Massage that lower back against the mat. And then bring your feet to the mat and lie with your arms out at shoulder height. And just close your eyes for a moment here and refocus, recenter on that grounding. Paying attention to every part of your body that's touching the mat. Start to slow down the breath, bring some focus, bring some ease back to your breath. And let your mind calm down, bring the focus back to your root chakra. That lovely red spinning wheel of energy at the base of your spine, helping you to connect to the world around you, helping you ground yourself in moments of need. And just feel that connection, your body, your mat, and the earth beneath your mat. And then spread yourself out into Shavasana pose. So coming to lie back down, palms facing up. And feel your chest rise and fall. Feel your body connected with your mat. And just say to yourself in your head a mantra for your root chakra. I am here, I am grounded. I am here, I am grounded. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Feel free to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you'd like. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up. And stay tuned for more videos coming up. Namaste.